would you trade Paxton? I think it depends on a couple things. One, how healthy is your rotation at this point? Because I think your postseason rotation right now, it's right at the top, Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu, Yamamoto. Then the third guy is where you start having a conversation because Gavin Stone is pitching a lot better than Walker Buehler. But will Walker Buehler get back to the guy that we saw before the injuries, where he's someone that you trusted in October? How will Clayton Kershaw look when he returns? How will Bobby Miller look when he returns, right? What will they get out of the guys that are currently not in that rotation? And do you feel good about four guys? After you feel good about four guys, whether it's a combination of Glasnow, Yamamoto, Stone, Buehler, or I think Kershaw, for me, Clayton Kershaw, if he's healthy, he just doesn't have bullpen stuff. And the sense that I get is that he's such a creature of habit and his routine. I just can't see him coming out of the bullpen. We know what happened last time that happened, right? Don't make me bring up 2019 in the NLDS, right? So I think Kersh is someone that you look to get 5 or 6 innings out of, right? That he has the feel for that slider, that he's commanding that four-seam fastball. And I think if he's fully healthy and the velo's there, which currently it's trending in the right direction, you're seeing some 90s, you're seeing some 91s in those sim games, I fully expect somehow, some way, Kersh ends up a part of this postseason rotation, okay? I know it sounds crazy, but I think that he's such a champion. He's so competitive, and he didn't come back to come out of the bullpen. And are you really going to leave him off the roster, Clayton Kershaw? Good luck having that conversation. Clayton Kershaw will have a statue outside Dodger Stadium right next to Jackie Robinson and right next to Sandy Koufax one day, okay? And I think it's going to be the look, arms raised in the air after the no-hitter in 2014. So you're really going to leave that guy off the roster, and then you bring up James Paxton. Does he fit into the bullpen? It's possible because you need someone that can be a mop-up guy. You need someone that can go out there in situations where if you have a big lead, you don't want to tax some of the other guys. But what concerns me about Paxton is just the lack of swing and miss. I mean, too many hittable pitches in the zone, I think it would be my concern. He doesn't profile as someone that has stuff to play up in the postseason bullpen, especially when you've got a guy like Dustin May coming back. I mean, if you look at James Paxton, I mean, this is a guy that had a K per 9 over 11, close to 12 at points in his career. This year, it's a career low 5.28. That's his K per 9. And you look at the FIP and the expected numbers, there's a lot of red flags there for James Paxton, but still, he's getting the job done. Remember, he's a rented car. When you rent a car, you don't care how you drive it, right? You don't care how you take care of it. As long as you get the insurance, you're going to drive him like a rented car, get every single inning you can out of him, and then take advantage of him throughout the course of the regular season. We got Eduardo Delgado. If you're out on Curse, you're really not a fan. That's Eduardo Delgado over on YouTube. Pax puts the defense to work. He absolutely does. And Rocks, we got postseason rotation, Glasnow, Yamamoto, Stone, and Miller. See, that'd be pretty interesting because I think that if Miller comes back and you see shades of what we saw against the Braves on his first start of his career, what we saw on Sunday Night Baseball against the Yankees. I mean, Bobby Miller has that true pitch mix that would play up in the postseason. Yes, he didn't have his best start in the NLDS against the Diamondbacks, and I talked to Andrew Friedman when he was on the show, and we talked about Bobby Miller, and he said, I would not hesitate to give him the ball in the postseason if he got another opportunity to do so, because he has that kind of stuff and that competitive fire that you need in October. But I think what makes him so interesting is he's got a true 5-pitch mix, right? You got a four-seam, the changeup, the curve, the slider, and the sinker, and your four-seam averages 98.3 miles per hour. That is going to play up, but when you look at the mileage on his arm, right, pitching over 138 innings around that last season, what if he comes back and Bobby Miller's the bullpen weapon? There's a world where that's a possibility, where Walker Buehler's the bullpen weapon. Gavin Stone, I think we'll see how his year continues to trend, but he has a sub-3 ERA, and there would be no reason to take him out of the rotation at this point. So, look, competition is going to be good, and these are champagne problems if all these guys remain healthy, and I hope that we're having this conversation, but let's just be honest. If you follow this team for long enough, you know that these sort of things kind of take care of themselves in the sense that certain guys stay healthy, certain guys don't. But I think that this team is the best position that they've been in from a rotation standpoint at this point in the season than they have in years. We got Sammy Boy Smith. We need a lefty in the playoffs. Kersh can fill that void. He should be healthy and at his best by October. He had a busted arm last October. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Kersh was a shell of himself. I mean, he was probably 70%. And give him a lot of credit. He still took the ball. He still went out there and competed. But he just wasn't the same guy. And it wasn't the velocity necessarily. It was just the command and the bite and the depth of that slider. And I'm excited to see what Clayton Kershaw looks like when he returns to the mound after his first major arm surgery of his career, because I think, let's not forget what we saw in 2020. In 2020, we saw the best version of postseason Kersh. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that he wasn't grinding out 25 or 30 starts or anything like that throughout a regular season. And he had a lot of gas left in the tank and had two really good starts against the Rays, had that 13 strikeout game against the Brewers. So I'm very excited to see that. I think let's not sleep on Clayton Kershaw. I think that a lot of fans want to write him off, but I don't think that that chapter has been written.